DraftKings Sportsbook is the best place to bet touchdowns. I have teamed up with DraftKings to bring you all your favorite ways to bet touchdowns as we start to wrap up this NFL season. New customers can turn $5 into $300 if your bet wins. Paid in bonus bets, the crown is yours. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use the code Sonnen, stay on the action, and use your bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Love the thrill of live betting? Bet live on star player props and in-progress games right as they happen. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code SONNEN and bet just $5 on any wager and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's promo code SONNEN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. But what are they talking about? That's an interesting threesome. What is it that they're talking about? And many people that had privy to the conversation said that Donald Trump was trying to talk Dana White into putting Jake Paul on the White House card. Now, I've got to tell you, I really doubt anybody had privy to that conversation. I strongly resist the idea that Secret Service or the cocktail waitress or whoever would have been in that room would have gone to the media and said, Donald Trump was trying to get Dana White to put Jake Paul on the White House card. But this is the story. This is the story, and I'm telling it the way that it was put into print, but something else got put into print that was very interesting, which is Jake Paul's time at the PFL is done. That contract has been exhausted. And I had to rack my brain on that one. I don't remember Jake being signed with the PFL. Now, when I did rack my brain, I did find that detail. I did find that once upon a time, Francis Ngannou was signed, Jake Paul was signed. And it was right around that same time. Almost makes it curious as to how Francis is not yet out of contract, but Jake is out of contract. At any rate, what happened there? Jake Paul was very gung-ho and he was very helpful at one point, and then he went away and he went just very quickly and very quietly. For example, I can't tell you a time that Jake Paul was sitting front row at a PFL event, or that Jake Paul was using his social media to push PFL, or that Jake Paul had identified a potential opponent. And there was something prior to Askren and his health issues. There was some kind of talk between those two, but I don't know how serious it ever got. And I really can't even recall for you what was said. There was just some kind of something. It would seem as every fighter in the PFL would be calling out Jake. Unless every fighter in the PFL had kind of gotten word around the campfire of, hey, he's not really going to fight. He's over here. He's going to loan his name. He's going to loan his image. We're doing other things with Jake. And there was really never a time that we were questioning whether Jake had the courage or the desire to fight, because he was training and was doing fights, but they were outside of the PFL. They were being done in the form of boxing. So Jake Paul is seen in a private meeting with Dana White and the President of the United States. Does it mean anything? I would be very confident in telling you no. I do not believe that anybody is going to debut on the White House card. I don't believe anything about the White House card is going to be weird or unusual. I believe it's going to be a very special product, packaged and delivered like only the Ultimate Fighting Championship can do, and it's going to be played and presented on the grounds of the White House. I think that that's where we end. I told you guys last week, shut up about saying there's going to be 7 title fights. I don't have any inside information. You just sound so stupid when you say it. You have no precedence over time for having done that. And if you did do it, you would then be signifying that our championship is our greatest thing. So if we want an even greater thing, we'll have 2 championships. And if we want the greatest thing, then we'll have 3 championships. And if we want the greatest of the greatest thing, we'll have 4 or 5. And you get all the way to 7, but then now you've cannibalized your product. Next Saturday, When you've got one belt on the line, it's going to look a little scarce. Go, where's the other hardware? It's just a really dumb guess. As far as guesses go, it was a dumb guess, and it was made by high people in our industry that shouldn't be that dumb. And I'll bring you more recently to 2 days ago when Conor McGregor was going to fight George Masvidal at the White House. And I came and I told you guys, that's absurd. They're not in the same weight class. George Masvidal is retired. Conor McGregor is currently serving a suspension. That'd be a really big fight. That would be a really fun fight. That's not the kind of fights the UFC puts on. That fight, the winner of that fight goes nowhere. The UFC puts on fights known as significance. There's a significance to the fight because something happens to the winner, something happens to the loser. That fight, which would take place for no reasons outside every ranking, without arm's reach of any kind of a belt that you even wanted to make in your father's garage with some handiwork, at a weight class which would absolutely not matter, it's weird that our industry believed it. And Dana got asked about it, and he said as much. No, of course I'm not looking to book a weird fight like that. But if you're not looking to book a weird fight like that, then we don't have to continue the conversation of Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey. We don't have to continue any of those conversations that are weird and are not in line with what the UFC does, which is bring you the best fighters against the best fighters, champions against rightful number one contenders, roughly 11 of them, sometimes you're spoiled with 12 of them in an evening, with something known as prelims and undercard and a main card, followed by your co-main and main events. Under the unified rules. Do I need to keep going? There's nothing that then gets weird because you set the cage up near the White House. Those fights are still in the cage. They're still the unified rules. They're still being done by a business that has a brand promise that the best will fight the best. Next time you hear a weird idea, don't think, oh, wow, that's cool. It might happen. It's weird. Think, oh, wow, that's not going to happen. That idea is weird.